All right, so we're going to continue on with our theme of de-emphasizing the squat, and today what I want to cover and what I want to talk about is people just blindly following the Olympic weightlifting playbook that's been given to us. Okay, so we all know that the Chinese, the Russians, and a lot of the Eastern Europeans have been really successful at weightlifting. But here in America, here in the US, we've kind of just been blindly following those programs, and we haven't stopped and asked ourselves why. Okay, if we take a second, we step back, and we look at the programs that have been done, can we ask ourselves, in reference to the squat, would they have done other things if they had known or had those things at their disposal? So for example, do you think that the Russians or the Bulgarians would have done some trap bar deadlifting had they had trap bars? It's pretty easy now for you and I, if we see a piece of training equipment we want, just to get on Rogue, click a couple boxes, put the credit card information in, and 3 days later, your gym's filled with all kinds of different training devices. Well, those countries didn't have those at their disposal. Okay, so that's number one. I think if a lot of the Eastern European countries would have had American resources and dollars at their disposal, they might have had their methods look a little bit different. Okay. Number two, when we're talking about blindly following other people's programs and squatting a lot, and you have to take into you have to consider, and I don't want to edit that out, that these other countries were doing drugs. Okay, we've seen that with the recent bans. Like, we can stop saying maybe they're doing drugs or supposedly they're doing drugs. They're doing drugs. Okay, maybe not. Moving forward now on, they might back off a little bit, but for the longest time, we know that there's been a lot of corruption in Olympic weightlifting, and squatting every day would be fine if you have the drugs to support it. Okay, going to a max every day is fine if you have the drugs to support it. You can only recover so much with your body's natural levels of hormones, nutrition, all that stuff. Okay, so if you can put something in your body to speed up recovery, you're going to be able to handle heavier training loads over time. These countries, as part of their system and part of their strategies, use drugs to recover. Okay, it's no secret that stuff works. That's why they were doing it. All right, they could squat more frequently, they could lift heavier more often because they had the aid of drugs. And we're in a clean sport. The US has made a big push to be in a clean sport, and now moving forward, we're going to have to figure out new and creative ways to solve old problems. But step one is to stop following the Eastern Europeans' playbook on Olympic weightlifting. We have to create our own methods. We have to be unique. We have to create our own systems to develop lifters in the US the way that works for us.